buffer select sounds. Let's see if I can change that. It's not so bad, but it can be better. Let's try 420. Change the latency of my sound card, so it's checking the latency on my network too. And meanwhile, I'm going to load other sounds. So I have 20 sounds now. Delete the first layer. Okay, now the latency is good again. So what's happening here? We have two sounds on the wave sequencer. If I click here on sequence, you can see the two sounds there. So we have sound 1 and sound 2. I'm editing the layers. Let me stop sound here a bit. So what do I have here? I have the wave sequencer. So we have the sounds here. I have loaded 19 sounds. Each sound is a layer. Then if you click here on sequence, you can select the layers for each step here. And each step is going to use this bit per minute note. How to say that? I forgot the name. But it's going to use this timing for each step on the sequence. So I'm going to duplicate steps here. Try to create some rhythm sounds. Let's see if it works. Now I want to do a few steps that are very quickly, but I want to keep in time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to raise to 1/4, so it's going to play much faster now. But then I'm going to use the timing here below and select the timing 2. I should have done this first because it's a bit painful to do now, but 2. I use a trackpad, so it's very hard to click on these boxes. If I should have used the mouse instead. Anyway, so I have 1. Let's see. I had 8 steps. Step here. Okay, now it's good. So what have I done here? I have selected 1/4 for the speed of the notes, and here down below I have selected timing 2 times, so it's going to be 2 times 1/4, which is 1, 2. It's half, but the last 2 I set 1, so they're going to be 1/4. I hope I'm saying this correctly and clearly. If not, please do write me how to make this more clear and how to improve this. So this is the sequence I have created so far. Okay, nothing fancy. I'm going to use the dual oscillators to make it sound a bit more wide. And let's play again. Let's duplicate again and do some changes. And I'm going to change panning. I'm going to change. So I reset the envelope, and what I did here is a no sustain, so it doesn't have any sustain, this envelope. So when an envelope has no sustain, what happens is it's going to do the entire envelope until it ends. Since there are no sustain to keep sustaining when a note hits. And what I'm doing here, I'm doing the last stage is not zero, so it does some sort of reverse sound when it plays. And the wave sequencer is in sync with each note I press. So this button here create a new sequence and starts from zero for each note I press. I'm going to press both notes a bit off tempo. First, let me play it on the exact same time. Now a bit off tempo. A bit more off tempo. Let me lower a bit the volume of my interface here, so my voice is not so loud compared to the sound of the sound card. Yeah, that's good. That's a different sound, let's say. It's actually a good sound. Sorry for the dropouts. I changed my teleport settings here. I don't know why, but my computer doesn't like to connect with my other computer through VNC or VLC using a cable. It's just working on Wi-Fi. I have to check why, because the cable is going to be much faster. But anyway, it's working. Let me remove the velocity here so I can click here without lowering the volume. Okay. Okay, let's do a few changes here and add some envelope. Not some effect maybe. So I have duplicated the steps again. I'm using my right click on the mouse to move the sequence to the next sequence, which starts on the 17 here. I think 17, no, on the 19, sorry. Yeah, on the 19. It starts again. And I'm going to do just some small changes here and there. Let's see how it sounds. Those are the ones. Let's see how that works out. Yeah, that's fun. Okay. I have what I have done here. I have tweaked the envelope, so you have a very fast attack. You can see here 0.009 seconds, so this is a very fast attack. But this reduces clicking on a sound, especially on low frequency sounds. Then it drops down very fast, and then does that sort of comeback reverse effect, just raising again, and then drops very quickly too, but not so quickly here on the end compared to the attack. But it still reduces clicking on the sound, especially on the low ends. Okay, let me think. What else could you do here? Maybe let's play with the filter a bit. I'm going to use the filter in parallel with the original audio. So I'm setting the mix to half. Well, one side is totally dry and the other side is totally wet. So I'm just leaving half and half. And let's use the bandpass. And I'm going to just tweak the bandpass a bit. So I'm going to use an LFO. Let's try this LFO to filter frequency. And again, I'm going to use options positive on the output. And I'm going to make the LFO in sync with the tempo. So let's sync it, and also K-sync. So for each new note, it's going to restart. And I'm going to use, let's say, no, let's try 61. Yeah, that should do it. Let's see how that works out. Can remove this mode here, and frequency is to 0. So the modulation is going to add to that frequency from 0 to 1. Let's see. Okay. Check it out. Oh, I see. I forgot one thing. Since I'm using the wave sequencer, I can't use K-sync. That's the reason why it was not working. Because the wave sequencer is sending new nodes to the LFO too. it a bit slower, 32, let's say. Let's not make so low and not too high. So I'm changing the minimum and maximum values for the filter. That's crazy. Okay, the nice thing about the sequencer is that you can also change the tuning of each note. So let's say, oh no, I did something bad now. I changed my two notes here. This one's crap. Put it back. Accidentally clicked on the sequencer. Let me go back here, and I'm going to change tuning. Five, 7. Well, the tuning is not doing very much because the sound I select is not very harmonic. It's more like well, more like what a name say, cluster. It's a cluster of sounds. That's pretty much it. I have to create my folder again because this is another computer, not my original one. So I'm going to create a folder here. That's a new folder. Button. Okay, let's do this. Oops. 5%. Let's name this cluster wave sequencer 1. Cluster sounds sequenced fashion. Something like that. 1%. Sec. Filter. Cluster. Something like that. That should be it. Okay, so here's my sound. Let me see if I can transfer preset. No, I'm going to do this another time. But I could. Okay. Check something here. Just a minute. So probably tomorrow I'm going to be fixing that problem with the wave oscillator. Then I can play around with it again. But this should be here on the 3 oscillators that you can change the phase modulation of sawtooth waveform. So let's use LFO, oscillator on phase. So this is the phase modulation of the sawtooth, which is pretty much the same way a pulse waveform works, but it cuts the sawtooth in the exact same place of the pulse waveform. So it does this kind of alpha Juno effect, although the alpha Juno had a bit of different sound, but it's pretty similar. So let me test something off this preset in particular. I'm going to use an arpeggiator on the master layer. So any other layers I create is going to be affected by this arpeggiator. So on the master layer here, you can see, and I turn on the arpeggiator. I'm going to put it a bit slower, 1/3. It's not inverting as I expected, and that's okay. Let's try something else. Should have inverted instead. So let me see here. Let me see one thing. So I have two layers: the three oscillators and the drawable oscillator. And as I said, we have the master area here on the modulation in MIDI. I have the arpeggiator on the master area. That's why it's sending the arpeggiator to both layers. So let me try something different here. So I'm editing the wave number 2. Now let me check one thing. I'm changing the phase of the waveform just by applying the smooth sharp option, as you can see here. So when I mix both, now I have to use a modulation. I'm going to use my electrode again. And that's it. So now I have one LFO on this layer. It's different from this layer, LFOs. So each layer has its own LFOs. So each layer has its different LFOs. That's pretty good. I like that sound. But now I'm going to use the pen option here, the pen. To open up a bit the sound. And I'm going to save this preset so if something bad happens, I don't lose it. Let's call it. Let's add another layer. This is going to be a crazy preset because this is going to use a lot of stuff. And I forgot to turn the high quality mode on the drawable oscillator. Now, here's a trick. I have done the ADSR mode and I'm going to just now add some reverse sound. So low. So now I'm going to add some reverb, or maybe some chorus first. That's better. I don't like this one. It is the studio verb. Yeah. It's not there exactly what I want. Let me see. Some more. Oh yeah. Works pretty well. Let me try something here. Check validations. Save the preset again. Didn't save on the folder created. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I forgot to save it on the layer first. So let me save it on the right layer. refresh my browser. So this preset was working before, and this is the new one. So I didn't use any filters on this one. Oh, I don't know. I think it's a good preset. Let me think. Drink some water. Today is a hot day here where I am. It's 30 degrees now. It was 20 Celsius 20 last day, so today is very hot. Okay, let's play around with what else. What I was doing the other day is playing with the VST effect hosting. So let's try something. I'm going to add a new layer. I'm going to add a sample player layer. But I'm not going to add any sound. Instead, I'm going to add an effect, insert effect on layer 4. For the same sound I'm playing now. I'm going to load the VST effect, but instead of VST, oh, I don't have my VST files here. Let me copy. Just 1 minute. Let me transfer the files very fast. Station 8, VST effects, folder. I have to load it now. Oh, come on. Where's my mouse? Oh, here. What's it doing now? No. Okay. Okay, remove this effect. And let me copy file. It's on the desktop. Here is the effects 3. Let me copy to my Wusik station data folder. Because I'm using the 32 bits version. Because FX teleport is free but doesn't support 64 bits. Now it works. So let me try the DX10. So let's mix up with some FM synthesis. My limiter is disabled. No, it's disabled. So let me remove the other one's limiter. And I'm going to add another layer. I'm using the overdrive to distort a bit the sound. Yeah, that's nice. Wrong default 3. So now I'm adding. There's no mute. I'm looking for a mute. I have to learn how to use the mute option on the streamer. There is an option for that. Okay, so what I'm doing now, I'm adding a third LFO here on layer oscillator, tree oscillator, layer 1. And this LFO is going to mess up with the filter frequency, but I don't want it to fully open, so it stays like this. So let me mute the other ones and just play one by one and tweak one by one. I'm going to add an LFO for each filter on each layer. LFO. This LFO I'm going to use positive on output again, and then I'm going to add the LFO 2 filter frequency and also not open so fully. Let me check if you oscillator layer 1 I did it right. Yeah, I did it right. I don't have them. They are not in sync. I don't want it to be in sync, but if I wanted, I could use the key sync and sync to tempo. But I already have them floating around in the different ways. So let's see. Check now. Raise the latex on the teleport. I want to check what's the CPU usage. I don't know if there is an option for that on teleport on the server side. What's that? That's it. We test it. Ah, it's very low. Because this computer I'm playing is a 3.1 GHz processor, much better than the notebook. Oh, I saved on the wrong folder again. Come on. This is the first preset. This is the second one. This is a wild drum. So what do we have here? Let's revise. We have two layers that have no sounds on the sample player, and that I'm just using the insert VST and load an instrument, VST instrument instead of an effect. This way I can get some sound layers using other instruments, not just Wusik station. It's just more than a small hack, let's say, to do this, but it works pretty well. And these MDA effects and instruments are going to be included with the next update. This is still a beta version. You can see here 8.16 should be actually 8.1. I think the number is right. I don't remember. Maybe only 32 bits. I forgot to update the number. It's possible. Anyway, but it's going to be included in the next update. Let me check on my computer here what it says. Because I copied this morning, so it should be saying the right number. But you know, so many files. Oh, that's correct. 808.16. Okay. I was thinking it's going to be other number. So it's going to be included even on a Mac version. So this preset should load on the Windows and Mac OS 10. Okay, let's start something different now. One thing you can do that, let's load a super selector here. You can add more than one filter here on the layer. So let me try something. Use my arpeggiator very slow this one. I'm going to use parallel processing for the filters. And I'm going to use frequency key follow in both filters.